So let's explore a few more things with the SRF class of the uh, form. So here what we're going to do, we try to read a mesh that is created from the ICM CFD. Okay, so here we're not going to work with the block mesh file, but we adapt the directly mesh that is created from ICM CFD or any class of the external mesher. And if you want to take that mesh inside the open form and set this SRF class of the test case, how one can proceed. So let's explore with the help of this SRF assignment ICM GGI. Okay, so here I only going to give you the mesh file, but entire setup is available at the BKP file. If you're not able to make it, then follow this, but I suggest first try it the way I am doing. Okay, for that let's try to copy these files from here. Okay, that is required, this file, and based on that file only we going to set the entire test case. So I am keeping that file here, but idea is that we not going to use the block mesh, but we try to import the mesh. So let me quickly open the file. Okay, so let's first go to the area where we want to run the case. So I am here, sorry, I am okay. So let's first clean the case. Okay, so then we are reading the file, and it is three-dimensional file, three domains. So we try to use Fluent 3D mesh to form. Okay, mesh to form, and then read the mesh from mesh folder. Okay, so we able to read the mesh here, but it not allow you to do the check mesh. But let's see how the mesh is look like at Paraform. Okay, so it is more like similar mesh, but this time we construct the mesh inside the ICM CFD. Okay, and this is how our entire domain is look like. So let's understand inlet outlet. Okay, let me show you the patch name as well. So this is the inlet, this is the outlet. Okay, and this both the thing both is the cyclic 1 and 2. This is cyclic 1 and cyclic 2, even though here your GGI interface is not required, but I want to show you how you can set up the GGI. That's why here we are working with the GGI, because it is almost work with the cyclic straight away, because here our patch where we want to give the cyclic is not twisted or anything, so it's straight away you can apply the cyclic. But I want to show you how you can set up for the with the help of the GGI. Okay, then we have this internal and outer and the blade. Okay, so inner one, outer one, and this is our blade. So this is how is our entire tutorial, and we want to set up a rotating domain. This entire domain is rotating single domain only, so that's why single reference frame. Okay, so let's look at how we can proceed and set up the test case. So first let's copy the 0 folder from the original folder. Okay, and then let's look at few things here. Okay, so if you look at from the Paraform, let me open Paraform again. Okay, so if we look at the Paraform, okay, so let me first rename it, because it's previously there is a set name. Okay, so let me say CP of this. Okay, and first just look at the Paraform. Okay, so Paraform, we have a cyclic patch. Okay, so with that cyclic patch we want to use our this batch file, so it allows us to create certain zones. Okay, so in the previous case, so this is the name of the cyclic, but now our cyclic name is changed. So our name is cycle 1 and cyclic. Okay, cyclic 1 and cyclic 2. Okay, so let's read what name is we have in the polymesh files. Okay, so boundary file. Okay, so we have a this two name, and based on that we have to construct the new face set zone. So let me keep this name here, whatever available at a look. What I'm doing, I just simply read the mesh, and then I'm looking at a boundary file, and from the paraform identify this 2 patch goes as a GGI cyclic or cyclic GGI. For that I require the face set. So from this I construct the face set, from this I construct the face set, and from the previous tutorial I try to create a proper boundary files out of it. That is the idea. Okay, so let's go to the set batch GGI. So this is the name, and from this I want to construct the new name as a cyclic zone 1 and cyclic zone 2. Okay, so that is the idea. So here is a cyclic 2 1 2 zone 1 2, and with the help of that we able to create a new zones. Okay, so let's go to the this place. Okay, so we able to construct the zones. Okay, and that zone is available at the set level. Okay, so now we have these 2 zone, and then we try to copy that zone into the face zone side by this set to zone flip flap. So let with the help of this set to zone command we able to write the sets that is created from the previous command, that is with the bash file. We able to write as a face zone. Okay, now we have face zone ready to go. Now let's modify our boundary file. Okay, so what I mean is let's modify this boundary file. Okay, so this boundary file right now, if you see, we have a cyclic 1 and cyclic 2, but to facilitate the GGI we have to change certain things here. So for that let's add up the settings from our first tutorial, previous tutorials. Okay, so where we already used this GGI. So from there let's go to the constant and poly and boundary file. Okay, so from here let's add up this setting. So I'm copying this setting here and I want to use here. So idea is that n face and n start supposed to be as per this as current one. So I'm changing this value here. Okay, now this entry no more required, so delete that part. We have to use the cyclic GGI. This is entry. Now our shadow name is not this, our shadow name is cyclic, and our zone name is also not this. Our zone name, what we set here, that is the zone name for first. So from here copy the zone name. Sorry, here. So this is our zone name, so copy here. Okay, and now rotation axis, this rotation we want something like, look, one, if you look at here, one is positive and another is the negative 172 degree. Okay, so let's first go there and try to understand, and then we come back here in our tutorial. Okay, so FE40, so we want to look at what is here. So paraform. Okay, and this is our cyclic patch here, cyclic 1, okay, and cyclic 2. Okay, so this is cyclic 1 and 2. So let me switch off few things. So cyclic 1, okay, and along the z axis to reach the cyclic 2 it has to rotate how much? Cyclic 1 has to rotate 72 degree. Okay, and same way cyclic, this one to reach till cyclic 2 it required to rotate 72 degree. Okay, so from here to here we required 72 degree rotation, and from here to here we required the 72 degree rotation, but opposite way in the with along the z axis. So this is the rotation axis and rotation angle. Okay, so if I from here, if I rotate by 72 degree I able to reach here. If I rotate minus 72 degree I will reach here. Okay, so that is the idea. So in the similar line, how much rotation required for our boundary case, let's observe that. Okay, so let's go to our area. Okay, so here paraform. Okay, So we have a cyclic 1 and 2 in the similar line. So look, cyclic 1 and 2, and let's observe in z direction. So from cyclic 1 to 2 I require positive 90 degree, from 2 to 1 I required negative 90 degree along the z axis. So that is the change we have to do here. So 90 degree 1 to 2, and 2 to 1 again we require the minus 90 degree. Okay, so this is how you can set the case very quickly. So I'm changing this value. Okay, then here we require the minus 1. Okay, so and with respect to this axis. So this is how one can quickly set the boundary file. You got it, huh? So from here to here I have to move 90 degree, from 2 to 1 I have to move 90 degree but opposite way. Okay, so that is why you have this change here. Okay, so positive and negative 90 degree. Okay, let's me look at here a similar line. Okay, so this is how we have here. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's now look at the our rotations. Okay, so let's this thing is set, that means our boundary file is set, as well as our we able to create the GGI interface, but accordingly we supposed to change inside the 0 folder. Okay, so till now we able to do modification inside the control-dict file. Okay, now let's because if you go to the our 0 folder, okay, so that is a commented. So let me first uncomment that portion. Okay, so if we try to look at inside this file, we have different name. Okay, so first we have to adapt the our required name from here to there. Okay, and accordingly we have to modify it as well. Okay, so let's do that. So at the inlet, that is our top. Okay, so at the inlet we required this entry, sorry, the inlet we require this value. So slowly we able to modify. So in the z direction let it be value. At the outlet, okay, we require gradient conditions. Okay, this is GGI cyclic, so no need to specify anything. This is also GGI cyclic, no need to specify anything. Okay, this all are walls, so on the walls we specify the fixed 0, no slip boundary conditions. Okay, so like that way we able to set the our 0 folder for velocity. Same way let's do it for other all. Okay, so here everything is calculated. Okay, so let's use that value. Inlet calculated, outlet everywhere calculated except the GGI. Okay, so GGI we don't require this calculated, let it be a GGI only. Okay, thing is calculated. Why it is calculated? Because from the relative we going to calculate this absolute velocity internally. Okay, that's why we specify that. Now let's try to set the pressure. Okay, so we specify the velocity, so definitely at the inlet pressure goes as a gradient condition. Okay, and outlet we specify explicit pressure, Dirichlet conditions. Okay, and wherever there is a wall we specified, so internal wall, gradient, 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 and this both goes as a GGI only. Okay, so this is the correct condition for pressure. Okay, now NUT for that everywhere calculated. Okay, on the wall we have to specify NUT wall functions. Okay, so that is internal wall, outer wall, and blades. Okay, so this is we able to set these conditions, no problem. Fine, let's set the K. For K we require the KQR wall functions at the walls. Okay, here GGI uniform, no problem. Okay, at the inlet we specify the fixed value. Okay, and the outlet is the gradient condition. Okay, so this is how one can quickly set a value for K as well. Let's delete this not required files. Okay, now we have to set for last one, it's epsilon. We have a epsilon based wall function, so let's use that. For all the walls I'm specifying that value. Okay, then at the inlet I have fixed value, this one, and the same fixed value goes everywhere, GGI as well. So this is about. Okay, fine. So with the help of that I able to set the all the boundary conditions. So we set all the boundary conditions, and in the boundary file also we set with appropriate entries, cyclic 1 to cyclic 2 shadow zone, and here cyclic 1 zone entry. Okay, same way cyclic 2 has a cyclic 1 shadow zone, and cyclic 2 is set zone. Okay, so with this we are set for running the test case. So let's now run the case. So it's done. Okay, so let's look at how exactly it's look like. Okay, let's go to the last entry and try to add all the variables. So we have a absolute velocity, relative velocity, everything. Okay, let's cut the file at appropriate locations. Okay, and look at how exactly it's vary. Okay, here let's give the vector plots, so it gives us the idea exactly what happened here. So this is how whatever is entering from this side, it's try to leave this side. Okay, so that is what exactly we created the cyclic and GGI interface with the GGI. But please remember here, even without the GGI cyclic or cyclic GGI, you are able to run the case, because if you look at our geometry, okay, this and this, if we rotate, it will overlap each other. Okay, and it is a planar surface, not a twisted surface. So in that regard, it is very easy to set very quickly. Okay, so this is how one can see the or check or import the ICM or other external mesh and try to create the entire setting inside the OpenFOAM. So this is the very quick example of it.